The longest relationship you're going to have in your life is not with anyone, but it's with yourself. Now, yesterday I was having a conversation with a friend of mine, and we're just talking about friendships, relationships, and things like that. And the question came up about what was your longest relationship, your longest friendship, stuff like that. And something sparked in me. I was like, well, damn. I've had relationships and friendships and all that stuff, and they come and go, and there's phases, and you can outgrow people. But the most constant relationship I've ever had in my life, besides family, has been with myself. And it kind of flattened me for a bit, because I'm like, damn, I'm always with myself, but yet I'm always not with myself. I'm acting out actions, I'm doing things, but am I really aware of myself? Do I know myself? And it sparks so many things inside of me, so many things. How in my life, and people I know within my life, we lack self-knowledge, and we don't know thyself. And it's such a foundational thing, and we should always have it, but I don't know if a lot of people carry that. Now, how do you get to know yourself? What is self? Are we our thoughts? Are we our emotions? Are we something above that? All these questions spark so many things, and it brings up a lot of insecurities and a lot of void, because are we just thoughts that we identify, we embody? Are we just emotions that we identify and then we embody them and act it out? Are we just thoughts and emotions, or blah, 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 blah? And what is self? So that one question of what was your longest relationship, and realizing that it is always going to be with yourself, no matter who you are, no matter where you live, no matter any circumstances. The longest relationship you will have in your life is with yourself. So we must spend time getting to know ourselves, observing ourselves. And it's not about having a lot of experiences, because yes, experience can bring about a lot of awareness, but it's really about observing mind, observing our thoughts, our emotions, our inclinations, and seeing, wow, okay, I hold a lot of jealousy in me, I hold a lot of pride, I hold a lot of fear, I hold a lot of love, there's so many things that you will realize that will come from you that you were never aware of if you never just sat in observation of self and spent time with self. It's just uncomfortable, because so many things are going to come up, and there's going to be a lot of inner revelations, but that's where the growth comes from. Now, seeing all this, you can start to overstand yourself. You can see, okay, I tend to be like that, but it doesn't mean I have to be like that. That's where the self-work begins. Because just because you observe something within yourself, it doesn't mean you have to identify with it. It means, okay, that comes forth in me. Let me see. Let me work on overcoming these things. Let me work on that aspect of myself, this and that. You start to see things that you really love to do. You develop new hobbies. Some friendships might fade. Some relationships might fade because the false self is dying. The unconscious part of you is becoming aware, and it's like, wow, okay, I don't want to have those character traits anymore. I don't want to embody them anymore. Those emotions, I'm not going to cling on to them. I'm aware of them, but it doesn't mean I'm going to have them. And with those two things being observed, thoughts and emotions, your actions will change. How you conduct yourself in this life will change, because you're starting to get to know yourself. Know thyself is a principle of all faiths, all religions. And the more I grow in my faith, the more I understand that principle. Because we only have control over our own faculties. So knowing myself is foundational. We cannot be anyone's savior. We cannot help anyone. We can only be ourselves. And conducting ourselves in a way that is of a higher awareness, a higher state of love, more mature, I guess, more aware. That comes from getting to know yourself and understanding so much of your ego and who you are. It's hard work, but that's the good part, because that's where the growth comes from. And if you're on the path of self-development, growth, and growing closer to God, which is Christ full consciousness, those are just words of embodiment, to embody like what God really is. Getting to know thyself is foundational. I believe it's the only thing that we really need to do. Because if we start to understand self, then we can understand other. But we cannot know other if we haven't first gone inside of ourselves and get a little scratch card and be like, okay, I see this, I see that, I see this, I see where I'm moving from. Now I could not accept that in my thoughts. I cannot accept that within my emotions. So with all this ranting done, I encourage you to start to get to know yourself. And yes, it's going to be uncomfortable, but your life is going to transform, because you're going to start to realize that you're not your thoughts, you're not your emotions, and you're not what you do. You are beyond that. And you can finally grow now, because you can observe your thoughts, saying, okay, I'm feeling this way, but that doesn't mean I am that way. It's something I choose. And then once I've chosen, then I embody. Same with your emotions. Observe them. Do not always embody them, because they don't do right by you. They only do right by the emotion. And thoughts are a vagabond. They just want to exist within you, because without a vessel to be existed in, they cannot live. You're going to be free from a lot of things that have troubled you for so long. That's going to be a scary shift in your life, but that is growth. Know thyself. Get to know yourself, because it's going to be, and it will be, the longest relationship you will ever have, the most challenging relationship you'll ever have, but the most fulfilling relationship you'll ever have, because everywhere you go, you bring yourself with you.